Hey, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions. The title of this segment, What to Do If They Claim It's Stolen. This video is prompted by something that happened in my discussion group about an artist who saw his work on the website to be sold and he got all nutted up. He was just like, oh, I'm going to call the police, I'm going to do this. I did not authorize this stuff to be sold. And it went pretty much like I thought it was. You have to understand some stuff. People just can't say something was stolen. There needs to be proof. Because say you buy a unit and just for the sake of this conversation, there's a kangaroo in the unit. There's a very nice kangaroo in the unit. And you buy the unit and he comes out and he is yours. And you like that kangaroo, but you don't like him so much because you're going to sell it. Then there's the kangaroo up there in the advertisement. And then the original owner sees the kangaroo. All those feelings come back and it's like, I want my kangaroo back. It was stolen. That's what I'm going to say. Wrong answer. Do you know that filing a false police report can get you prison time? Yes, it can. So the thing is, if the kangaroo was truly stolen, there would have been a police report shortly after the theft of the kangaroo. But since this shitbird lost Carl the kangaroo, it is now your kangaroo and there's nothing he can do about it. Can he sue? Yeah, he's going to lose. But if he files a false police report, and this is where it gets tricky, because when you get the call from the shitbird who says, hey, that's my kangaroo that was stolen, you go to your police department and say, look, I got this kangaroo. Are there any police reports of a stolen kangaroo? And they're going to like, nope, there's none. At that point, he's just threatening you with bullshit and gas. That's it, because he has no substance to really do anything to you. And that's the thing. When this happens, do not panic. Don't panic. Let me say that again. Don't panic. You're a professional. Do your due diligence. Find out if it was actually stolen. Now, don't get it twisted. That 9/10 of the law, possession is 9/10 of the law, that means nothing. If this item that you gained out of a storage unit is stolen and the proper steps were taken to handle that situation, you're going to have to give it up, whether you've held it for a year or not. That's the reality. But the thing is, most people in this situation do not handle their business properly. They don't file a police report. I know people who've had their houses broken in because it was such a hassle, they didn't file a police report. I.e., they didn't have insurance that they could claim on. But that's another video. But that's the deal. Now, I'm going to tell you some stuff that happened to me. And I'm going to tell you what happened to another guy. We'll start with what happens when you do get stolen merchandise. We're going to call the guy Carl. Carl is everywhere. He's a kangaroo and he's this yard bird. Carl bought this unit. I was there. I almost bought this unit. It was in the rain. It was a place called Sugar Art Storage. And it's now Public Storage because Public bought Sugar Art many years ago. And the door went up and it was just, I love suitcases and boxes of stuff, and I would gamble on them because usually it was anywhere from $5 to $30. If you can't lose $5 to $30, you don't need to be out there on the auction trail. You really don't. Because if you lose $30 and it's a world of hurt, you needed to stay at home and eat your pork and beans, okay? You don't need to be out there. So it goes, and there was these two ladies, kind of like they had that church lady, and they had that church lady laugh. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And they were bidding on it. And I was like, I'm not going to fight with these two ladies. Then Carl jumped in and I'm like, I'm not going to fight with Carl. Some suitcases in the box. Not much in there. You can throw it in the trunk of your car and be done with it. Well, come back later at the next location. Carl is doing like the happy dance. And there's another friend of ours there. And they're just like, should we tell him? Should we tell him? Then take me to the car. And he opens up one suitcase full of guns. I mean, not one, two, literally dozens of guns. I'm like, man. And then I was like, if those two weren't there, I would have had that unit easily. $5. Well, that's another story. So, I'm like, okay, I get happy for Carl because Carl just generally did not come across jackpots, and it came out the guns were stolen. Carl tried to sell them, but the thing is, the person who had lost the guns had actually did the right thing. There was a police report filed 2 years prior to Carl getting those guns at the storage facility. 2 years. So it was clear. Serial numbers, everything matched up. He didn't have a leg to stand on. They said, hey. And they came at him. And it's like, these guns were stolen. He's like, hey, I got them out of storage unit. And they believed him, and he turned the guns in, and that life went on. So that's what happens if something is truly stolen. You get your hand on. Because the thing is, you didn't steal it. You bought it in a storage unit. That's why you need to be aware of what you're doing. Now, this is what happened to me. And this is so funny. I bought a unit of a local artist. And it wasn't the art that concerned him. It was the furniture. Super nice stuff from Cantoni. Cantoni is a high-end modern furniture store here in Atlanta. I think it's in other locations, but you know, that's where I went, because I mean the stuff was like crazy expensive. We're talking $4-6 grand for a coffee table that, you know, is about that big. Stuff super expensive, and the unit was full of it. So I listed the stuff up on Craigslist. Then I get this angry, irritating email. I'm gonna report you to the police. You stole my stuff. Blah 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 blah. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? So, hey, I went to Atlanta Police Department, called them up. Hey, you know, I got this unit, and I talked to the detective, and he was like, no, we don't have any police reports on that particular stuff. I said, what do you mean? Come to find out that this artist was a problem child, and he had many run-ins with the law. So, you know, he had a little problem. You know what I'm saying? A little problem. And, you know, with that information, then, you know, I just like, hey, I'm about to have fun with this yardbird. So I hit him back and I said, sue me. Come after me, you little bitch. At that point, I didn't have the scared little bitch, you know, franchise going on. So it was just like, you little bitch. And we went back and forth and everything. He's like, I know where you are. I'm going to come there with my boys, and we're going to whip your ass, and blah, 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 blah. I'm just sitting there like, really? And that is one of the reasons that I started carrying the gun. Just keep it real. He sounded like a psychopath, and you never know. Crazy people are crazy. You can't discount that. And it just went on for a few weeks, and I started selling stuff. And then he shows up with his boys. Okay? He shows up with his boys. All of them are like 5'6", 5'7", 130, 140 pounds. I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, you're kidding. This is your posse? This is a posse of chipmunks. I mean, seriously. Because at the point, I had my, not Hispanic help, but one of the guys who had owned his own hauling service. He was there. His sons was there. I had 2 customers there. There was like 20 folks, 180 to 290 against these chipmunks. And I'm just sitting there like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, I can't get my stuff. I worked hard for that stuff. I worked hard for it. And I was like, look, you lost your storage unit. You didn't pay your bill. Nana boo boo. And I actually did that, right? Which really didn't help the situation, because at that point, he went from like whining to, he balled up his little tiny man fist, and he really wanted to hit me, but he wasn't that stupid. And I was like, look, you need to leave my property. You need to go. It ain't fair. It ain't fair. It ain't fair. Bad karma's gonna come to you for this. I was like, really? You little cocaine inhaling bitch? Really? All the shit you did? Yeah, I know about that. And then all of a sudden his face was, whoop. And then the other chipmunks that were part of the posse, they were like, cocaine? What do you mean? You do cocaine? You know, I ain't about no drugs, man. And all of a sudden everybody just kind of turned on it. It was amazing. But the thing is, the whole gist of the story is, there was nothing he could do to hurt me. Now, because I had a warehouse and I was putting the address on Craigslist, he was easy to find me, which is why you need to lock up your stuff if you have a business. But long story short, he went away like a little bitch with his tail between his legs, and I sold his stuff and made a lot of money. And I gave him his clothes back. Couldn't sell them. I was like, hey, you can get those bag of clothes, and he took them, dragging them out like he's dragging his carpet bag. And it's just funny. I've been in that situation several times. 7 to be exact, with his case being the most egregious. When these people realize that you know that they're trying to pull the okie doke over on you, they go away. Because if they do not follow the proper rules of this was stolen, they have no leg. And let them know. If this happens to you, it's like, look, I called the police department. There are no police records saying that this was stolen. And if you do file a police report, because they can, because they see, a lot of people don't really understand how the law works. People just like, I want to do something, therefore I can do it. I'm entitled, I'm empowered. And then they go ahead and make that one wrong mistake by filing a false police report in the state of Georgia. That's a $1,000 fine plus possibly jail time. So, let them know that, because then it becomes a perspective thing. Do I do this and I risk this to mess with this person? Or do I just let it go and go away? So that's the thing. Unless it's truly stolen and they can prove it, you're usually in a free and clear. I'm not going to say 100% of the time, because the world is a strange place and there are unique circumstances. But if you do what you need to do up front and make sure that it's not stolen, you're going to be good to go. All right, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auction.